And we're live. Hey, everybody. It's time for another um, black and white doubles OU cash money tour game. I'm here with Talking Tree,
Hello, everyone.
and we are streaming qsns versus Biosci. This is round 3. So, let me just give them the signal to start. qsns and Biosci are both longtime fans of BW. They played in like DPL and stuff. So this is hopefully going to be a really good set, but we'll see because Biosci might just bring. Okay, he didn't bring garbage so far.
So we see Rain versus some very solid Rain checks in Jellicent and Amoongus.
Yeah,
I probably does have enough to cover that
it looks pretty even from
with Thunderous.
preview. Sorry, I keep talking over you.
Interesting. Bisharp is not something that you really see that often, especially because knockoff isn't really in black-white aside from actually removing items. It seems like it has a fairly decent matchup here. Gross and Jellicent and Landorus T giving it a boost potentially. Could be interesting to see if it actually does anything.
One thing to note about Bisharp is I think it's actually at its best in BW, even though, well, maybe XY, because sure, Steel resists Dark in BW, which hurts it a lot. But on the other hand, this is the only Jin where it can one-shot Lando T. Because it gets Dark Gem. Dark Gem Sucker clean one-shots Lando T. So, that is one thing it does have going for it. Although, yeah, it also doesn't have knockoff. Biosci protecting his Lando, so it's almost certainly Sash. That was a good turn for Biosci. He got the taunt on the Amoongus, which means the Tornadus is either going to switch or die. I guess it can protect, but then it'll just die next turn.
They're flying resist in Bisharp, but that's not exactly something that wants to take a +1 flying gem acro. So
right.
I'm guessing taunt Thunderous probably means that it's not super offensive.
Yeah, you'd usually see protect on offensive.
The Amoongus taunted, I wouldn't be surprised if that switched out. Yep. Switches out to Landorus. Okay.
It's Sash, as expected. Is it going to get rocks up? Hidden Power crit, really helpful for Biosci because Thunderous would live that otherwise.
And that would have been very threatening for whatever he wanted to send in. Now, he could have had a Bisharp that it doesn't exactly want to come in against a Landorus that has already entered the field.
Yeah, not when it's not going to get a boost because then it doesn't one-shot. Amoongus is a good switch here. QSNS might be forced to go Metagross, but Biosci kind of wants him to do that because Thunderous has a good Metagross matchup. Especially if this is Gem, which probably isn't, but this keeps QSNS from switching to Jellicent, which actually, the more I think about it, the less bad that would be for Biosci, because Jellicent really can't do anything with Amoongus in the back, whereas Metagross here is threatening.
I have no idea what that U-turn damage would say, but if the Landorus's Choice Scarf here, then it probably has to go for U-turn for fear of NHP Ice from Thunderous.
I would disagree with that.
No?
I think you want to kill this Amoongus before it gets a Spore off. I would Stone Edge the Thund, then Headbutt the Amoongus. Either you get the Thund.
Then both go into...
Or he has Rock Slide.
Oh, okay, it's Rock Slide. Well, if he gets flinches, then this works just the same.
Eject button.
That's interesting.
Oh, wait, no. I know this team. Yeah, it's Eject button. This Bisharp is Sword Stance, by the way, which is pretty sweet.
Okay.
Oh, but he Zen headbutted the Thund. That was a good call by QSNS.
Because if Thunderous goes away, then Biosci...
no.
QSNS might be able to get something done with Jellicent.
No, this is really looking locked up for Biosci at this point, in my opinion. With the Amoongus still healthy, QSNS's only real check to a Moong at this point is Metagross. So if that dies, it's probably game over. This isn't living a -1 Mach Punch. Okay, he knows it isn't.
He wastes a Steel Gem on a Bullet Punch. So that's not great, but
Yeah, that was well played by Biosci.
I don't think the Steel Gem was going to come in handy against much else anyway.
Yeah, you're right.
And yeah,
All
just
this
straight
stuff
rain.
would rather just get Zen headbutted except Bisharp, but you're not winning Bisharp versus Metagross anyway.
So
Rain mode comes in, which is a good call because, again, QSNS really can't switch out Metagross or Amoonguss is going to piss on him. But he can't stay in because Rain will kill Metagross and then Amoonguss kills him. So we'll see what he does here. Switching out.
interesting call by Biosci to just hard switch out the Kingdra.
I assume
think-
a Politoed specs, in which case it OHKOs Metagross. So that's fine.
Hydro Pump usually would mean Specs.
Or Gym. It could be Gym, which is the same thing.
Wouldn't reveal the gem.
Yeah. Jellicent being water absorbs an interesting choice. I always put Curse Body on my Jellicents. I think I'm taking water absorbs or water hits like a champ anyway. I'd rather get the proc chance on threatening attacks. Okay, it was Gym. And QSNS's Amoon gets spored, which is like a double whammy because not only did his Amoon get spored, it means nothing on Biosci's side is getting spored. But Jellicent can stall through Biosci's team if QSNS knows the set. Biosci's
grass move?
Sharp does not have Night Slash.
Interesting.
I don't know if QSNS knows that, though.
Okay. SD Ironhead Night Slash. Or SD Ironhead Sucker Punch. Okay.
It's a low kick, I think.
Oh, wow.
It makes sense. He's got a Moongus to redirect Hitmontop. You don't really want Ironhead that bad.
Right. That's true.
But Ice Beam Jellicent is stupid, and that Freeze was really lucky. I don't know why you'd run Ice Beam over Jellicent's, like, other moves.
If it's other moves. Yeah, Ice Beam's a really weird call.
But hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Leaving it a Moongus to get killed, kind of weird. I mean, it worked out with the whole freeze situation, but if Biosci's Moon wasn't frozen, I think QSNS probably would have switched that out. Because you don't want something else getting slept, which is what's going to happen here if the Moon thaws.
Huh.
I assume Biosci doesn't have Scald because he definitely would have done that, Nails.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
In chat, Nails said side Scald to Procberry. Procberry? What? I think he meant to freeze.
I think he meant Thaw.
Yeah,
but...
I mean, if you're used to playing 17... Oh, he gets the Thaw on the perfect turn, and that's going to be game over, I think.
Especially because that Hydro connected.
Yeah, because now something else can get spored. He Hydros Conk again, spores Jellicent.
Yep, hits it.
Yeah, this Politoad's been connecting with these Hydros. Oh, he didn't spore. He was playing it safe.
Yeah, because he didn't want to miss the Hydro and then have Spore fail.
Yeah, you should switch a Moon at this point. You need it to regen. Is he not regen? I'm so confused.
I mean, it's eject button, so I would assume that it's regen.
Oh, duh. Yeah, it showed it. Bishart, maybe it has Night Slash now, and it didn't earlier. Otherwise, Biosci could easily get walled by... Oh, wait. Jelly doesn't have Wisp.
Trick Room, Ice Beam, Recover, probably Water Move.
Yeah. So, the Night Slashless Bisharp will beat the Wispless Jellicent if he calls it right. That's
wow.
so weird.
Huh.
I still don't agree with sacking Amoongus, though. Not in a million years.
No,
If he
definitely
spored
not.
Jellicent, then he could just kill it in his free time. Like, just spore it, Giga Drain back up through one Ice Beam, spore it again, and do that till the game ends. Oh, but
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, Wispless Jellicent loses to Night/Listless Sharp. You don't see that end game every day.
not to run Ice Beam, kids.
I mean, it almost
You
worked
lose to
out.
Night/Listless Sharp.
I mean, Night/Listless Sharp is a set I would agree with. The Wispless Jellicent, not so much. Ice Beam doing like 25% to Amoongus kind of drove home how garbage Jellicent's non-stab attacks are.
I mean, even against something offensive like Torn,
Like Latios, yeah, I guess
that's-
it's probably for Torn specifically, but I'd rather just Wisp Torn. If I hit.
that's always the trick.
I was thinking like that's probably like a 3 or 4 hit KO on Latios. Probably 3, but still. Oh, and the Ninetales. Alright, I'm gonna call this one. QSNS already won because he brought Heatran.
I mean, unless he plays this really poorly or he has some really weird sets,
You mean Biosci has
like
some
this
weird
matchup
sets?
is squarely in QSNS's favor.
Biosci could be running some tricky HP grounds on like 3 Pokemon. Well,
This is a
Earth Power
pretty
Cube.
good matchup here. Looking at it.
What'd you
Defensive,
say?
sort of, Crest has a pretty good matchup here. If it's like Ice Beam, Psychic Move, HP Ground,
I mean, if it's
is
offensive
it?
crest, then Latios is going to really chunk it. And if it's bulky, then Transset's up. So I'm not
Okay.
disagreeing that Latios is
Checking.
key, but or not Latios, Crest is key. But I wouldn't agree it has a really good matchup.
Okay, makes sense. Oh,
it's
interesting. It's
Subcube.
Subcube. So
So it can attack
could be
here.
Jen.
QSNS is threatening an easy double. I mean, I guess it can, but it's risky.
But the thing is, Bio can't even really punish it that much.
Close combat probably one-shots Keld. He does go for the double. Let's see if I was right. I was very wrong. That must be
One.
like not fully offensive Hitmontop because that seems like really low damage. Let me calc that with fully offensive top. You keep an eye on the battle because I'm not.
For sure. So now QSNS can pretty much just double the Kyurem again.
I mean, yeah.
Biosci calls that with a switch to Cress, takes very little from both hits, and then just close combats the Keld again, and now it's gone.
Yeah, Cress
So that's
is
pretty
in
good.
it's in Draco range now. So that was okay for QSNS. Although going Heatran, he's really saying I'm attacking the Hitmontop this turn. He might
Yeah,
just
he
psychic
kinda has to.
he might psychic Hitmontop and Heatwave, or he might Draco Crest and sub. Honestly, that's what I'd do.
Hit on top and sub,
If
but
your Heatran's got some speed, Draco Crest and sub. No, I would not psychic Hitmontop and sub because then Scizor comes in. I think when you got 4 Ice Weeks plus Tran, you got to kill the Crest.
yeah, that's true.
That's always been the problem with chalk teams. Let's see if he did it. No, he hit the wrong slot. Weak
Okay, probably.
HP.
Oh no, and it's slow Tran too.
Okay, that explains why he didn't Draco Crest and sub. By the way, I did calc that Keld hit. If it was 252 plus top, it would have done 87 min. So yeah, it's a bulky
Wow.
top.
Very bulky.
And suddenly, this went from QSNS already won to, through a series of questionable plays, Biosci takes the lead.
Ninetales went from entirely useless to could
No
be okay now.
resists. I guess Latios resists, but Latios is not that useful versus Scizor, since this is Tailwind Latios.
There's much that QSNS can really. Okay, Bio goes for a Thunder Wave. That's a little bit strange, but
No, that's what I do.
QSNS making an obvious U-turn.
He does at least get the
Double targets
crest.
the crest. That's smart.
There are still 2 Ice move users on Biosci's team and 4 Ice weeks on QSNS's. He's going to have to T-Wave this cube if he wants any shot at winning. But
I guess that Biosci is going to try to taunt the Thunderous
yes,
and
we'll see who's
just hope
faster.
to win the speed tie or something.
Well,
Cure him and
Thun
then taunt
speeds
the
in
Thunderous.
BW. No 2 Thuns are ever running the same speed, I feel like. Okay, QSNS was
Okay, he got off the
faster.
T-Wave.
And Kyurem doesn't sub, which is also good for Quiznos. Oh, wow.
Jeez.
It's Life Orb sub. Man, that makes me want to
Interesting.
puke.
Huh.
Life Orb sub. I mean, I guess he does have 9 tails, but still, like, if you lose to a Tyranitar in the Weather War, you die in 3 turns.
It's really not good. I mean, okay. The freeze is really not good for.
Yeah, he wanted to taunt this cube really badly. Though
I mean,
his
now
end
Biosci
game was
can-
always get at least 1 Rock Slide flinch, so now he just needs a para as well.
Lots of Rock Slide flinches potentially.
Oh, wait. That was his Scizor check, too. Thund was.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Biosci is a merciful opponent and kills the Thund, giving Quiznos a free switch in before Kyurem gets a sub up. 'Cause if
All right.
Kyurem
Now
got a
we
sub, it was
see
over.
whether Rock Slide can get some flinches.
Yes. He needs probably 1 on Thund for sure, 1 on Cube. I don't know if he needs any on Scizor because he can Spore it.
Right.
And he definitely... No, he actually needs 1 on Tails as well. Although if he can kill the Thund, maybe he can Earthquake to victory. Yeah, he just needs 1 on Thund and then switch Lando out.
Point or no?
What?
What? Oh, okay. I guess you just Rage Powder. Considered switching out Amoonguss at that point, but okay, he
got
gets the flinch on Kyurem. That's big.
No. He got the flinch
he has a
and
way.
then missed the Rock Slide on Thund, which is what he really needed.
Okay, he hits at that time.
Flinch? Oh,
Nope,
wow, that
no flinch.
sucks. QSNS actually, if he hit all those Rock Slides, he had a decent shot.
Fund on that second turn.
And that was a quick set. Oh my goodness. That was like 15 minutes
Well then,
for a best of 3.
quick.
I do think of the 2 players, Biosci played better. He also did get
Yes.
a little bit lucky in game 2, but overall, yeah, he just outplayed Quiznos.
Just like the right sets to do the right things for what Quiznos brought.
Well,
Bisharp would be problematic against Jellicent, but Jellicent didn't have Wisp. And then, yeah, he brought Ninetales against a Heatran team, but he had the offensive crest that outsped Tran against everything.
yeah, the Bisharp one was just weird. But in the case of this Sun team, like, it's not so much he had the right set to counter Quiznos as if you're not running random HP grounds on this team, you're an idiot.
That's true.
So,
yeah,
that was just more of exactly what you'd expect, but it worked.
right.
Anyway,
Fast Crest is an interesting set too.
yeah, Fast Crest is cool. I don't think Trick Room helps this team at all, so it makes sense.
Right. I almost wonder if it was probably Ice Beam because it was offensive, but Icy Wind could have been an interesting supportive move for this team too.
Icy Wind Crest, he's run that with Expert Belt and stuff.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't surprise me at all if it was Icy Wind. Anyway,
Okay.
thanks for watching. Unless you have any more closing thoughts, Talking Tree.
Nope. Pretty open and shut set.
All right, see ya.